Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by the REC Toycast. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me, as always,
Eric Icarus.
Eric,
what's up?
You can find us on Instagram at REC Podcast. You can follow myself at Roman REC Podcast, and you can follow Eric at Gulag_J_Wielden. Yeah,
that's it.
Okay, all right, cool. I've got it. Hey, we got some praise to dole out.
Yeah.
We got a nice shout out from Just a Rican and his comics podcast, I guess you would say, on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description later, and you can follow him at just_Rican_and_his_comics.
Nice.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much, guys. But we want to say a special thank you to Rod, and just for shouting us out.
Big time.
And we got some new subscribers.
Yeah.
So welcome. If this is your first time, welcome. We have nearly 100 episodes, ranging from everything comics and television and movies, especially, and just kind of our takes on pop culture.
Oh yeah.
Eric and I have been friends for 28 years.
Ugh.
And yeah, I know, god dang. And we just like to share our point of view. We have these conversations anyway.
Yes.
So we figured we'd also record them and then see if anybody else wants to chime in.
Definitely.
So you guys can reach out to us. You can DM us at REC Podcast and check out our latest episode, last week's episode, the 10 Movies to Know Us. It's a little long, but it's
pretty
really
popular.
fun.
People are digging it, man.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of positive feedback. Give us some movies that we could get to know you from.
There you go. And don't forget our toy casts.
And don't forget,
oh my god, people love those.
We also do toy reviews.
Yes, we do.
We'll have some up. We'll have some new ones up here in the next week or so. And we're just gonna get this thing going.
Let's go. Let's roll.
I guess probably the big news of the weekend.
Yes.
Is co-publisher Dan DiDio gets fired.
Right.
And it sounds like he gets fired like, hey, come into work. Oh, hey, you're done.
Oh, one of those.
One of those. The co-publishers for DC Comics have been Jim Lee and Dan DiDio for like 10 or 12 years.
Oh, wow.
So they've been the heads, running that ship.
Oh, my God. Okay.
They're basically editor-in-chiefs to an extent. But
so, just for someone like me, was Dan DiDio like an executive, or did he start out as a writer? Or
he did start out as a writer.
Okay,
he did start out as a writer. Yeah,
okay.
And he had written on some very obscure titles. So I'm wondering what this will mean for people like Gerard Way and his Young Animals imprint.
Sure.
For DC, because he really seems to like Gerard Way and gives him a lot of weird titles to do. And it just sounds like the parent company, Warner Brothers / AT&T, just not happy with the way the comic books have been going.
Wow.
And which is crazy, because I think the majority of readers are more into DC Comics than they are into Marvel, consistently.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, they're pretty solid, but they don't. There's nothing. Nobody's released anything real. Just we know that it happened. Dan posted his going away party at DC, and he was very stand up about it. He was very just keep doing what you guys are doing, making good books,
right?
Stuff that people want to read. And it seemed very bittersweet. Seemed like it came out of nowhere.
Okay.
Everybody's favorite artist, Rob Liefeld, he has always had problems with Dan DiDio.
Oh, he has? Okay.
Yes. And on Friday or even Thursday, Rob had gotten wind of this and was like, I think Dan has been the issue with DC Comics for years.
Wow.
So people were really piling on him.
Sure.
Because for the most part, I think fans really do enjoy what DC is doing, at least with Batman. Batman's always their flagship.
People that I've talked to often say what you have said, where DC just has the consistency that Marvel lacks. And people tend to read more DC Comics. Marvel's got the cinematic universe cornered.
Yes.
And I believe DC's just got the actual comic books stories cornered,
They have a better vision. I'm curious to see what that vision's going to do.
Right. How much of this was DiDio? How much of this is Lee? Are they going to bring someone new in?
I don't. I'm a Jim Lee fan.
There you are.
To the bone. As we record this in our new studio space, up and coming. It's not up and running yet.
Walls are up.
But yeah, walls are up. It's got power. But we're gonna have some good stuff for you. I mean, you can look literally in any direction and see something from Jim Lee.
Yes.
I love Jim Lee. But Jim Lee is I don't want to say terrible writer. I don't think he's a strong writer at all.
Well, his strength is art.
His strength by far is art.
Sure.
You know, when the Image exodus happened from Marvel, I was like, man, it's cool. All these artists want to go and start their own comic. None of these guys can write.
Yeah, but you didn't bring a writer with you.
No. And it took them, for me, it took them a lot of years for them to make something. Like, I can't read Wildcats.
No,
I don't think Wildcats is any good.
I like
the characters.
Grifter.
I like Grifter.
Grifter's awesome.
I like Grifter.
Yeah.
But as far as like a story, like I don't care about those characters.
I couldn't tell you a one.
Give me. I think we were just making a joke that you could buy Alex Ross stuff without any words and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Give me Wildcats with no words and
there you go. I'd be cool with it. I did enjoy Spawn. Was Todd McFarlane part of that?
Oh yeah, that's Todd. Yeah. That's Todd's baby.
Yeah. I love Spawn.
Todd only knows how to make symbiote-related characters. Obviously Venom, and then Spawn, and then he did another one with Robert Kirkman called Haunt.
Okay.
It was interesting, but it was the exact. It was again Mexican food, same stuff, just folded different. This character Haunt, this guy's brother dies.
Yeah.
And the brother who's living is a priest.
Okay.
And the brother who died was like a wet work dude.
Okay.
And his spirit, like, gets onto his brother's skin, and it makes a suit. It's literally the same type of thing. It's just like it's ectoplasm,
sure,
symbiote type. Yeah, it's bizarre.
Well, can we talk about how awesome Major X is first?
Well, I mean that's Rob Liefeld. Yeah, everybody.
Because he was part of that too, right?
Oh, Rob
of the Image or the Exodus, right?
Yes, of the Exodus, and then he ends up getting canned because he was the president. And then he was using a little too much money to fund his studio.
Oh, so there's some salacious stuff.
Yeah, there was some
on.
salacious stuff. He is one of the original. God, it's like the original 5 or the original
Eric
7.
Larson.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, because I love Savage Dragon.
Yeah,
that was actually arguably, probably story-wise, that one. I could tell you a couple things about it.
Yeah. Eric Larson. His Savage Dragon. You had Wildcats. You had Shadowhawk. You had.
Witchblade.
Yeah, Witchblade, Mark Silvestri.
Yeah.
And it was too bad, and it was so bad for we digress, guys.
Yeah,
if you're new to the show,
this happens.
This is what we do. It was terrible for me because when the X's happened, it was all of the X title.
Yeah, there you go.
Artists.
Yeah.
It was Rob. It was Silvestri. It was
Jim.
But it did lay way for Andy Kubert to really make his. Like, Andy Kubert might be my second favorite X-Men artist.
He took his stand right there, man.
Yeah, he
made his mark.
So good, but Silvestri was good.
Yeah, I like Silvestri.
And it's funny, all those guys ended up coming back in some capacity.
Sure.
With the exception of, I think, Todd. I don't think Todd ever came back.
No, Todd has got beef with Marvel, right?
Oh, yeah.
And DC, too,
yes. Right? Yeah, he's very adamant about not doing stuff for the competition,
as
it were. So,
well, I feel like Todd has probably made the most money off of just his one character. Because remember, Spawn for a minute there was... You couldn't get away from it.
No, and
it was probably outselling Batman for a minute, Spider-Man.
It's the longest running
indie
comic. It's over 300 issues now. And guys, it doesn't work for me at all. But visually very cool.
Yeah.
I buy Spawn comics because I like the covers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, when Rob does, or not when Rob, jeez. When Todd does a great cover, man, I'm down.
Oh, man.
And this guy, Francisco Mattina, he's been doing excellent Spawn covers. So, but yeah, anyway, the implications of Dan DiDio.
Yeah.
Because there's whispers that, like, if this latest, like, this, it sounds like if this next year of DC doesn't produce the sales that the parent company wants, this is rumor, that they would look to sell DC Comics.
And guess who wants to buy?
Well, I don't know if they want to buy, but guess who would try to buy? I would imagine Disney.
Sure.
What is the world in which Disney and Marvel are under the same umbrella?
DC and Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, like under the same thing.
We could actually get a Batman versus X-Men or whatever you want to call it, dude. I mean, it would be... I remember making a joke a few years ago, like, wow, I never thought I'd see this on the big screen, talking about Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably be like 70, and then maybe we'll get, a Avengers JLA crossover.
God, that would be the main reason for me. I wouldn't want to see it comic book-wise, I want to see it film-wise.
No, big time.
Yeah, Disney making DC movies? Oh my gosh.
Like, okay, now these characters are going to be done right.
Yes. There are people who would argue with us, but like 23 or 22 MCU films can't be wrong.
No.
Can't be wrong. You don't have to like them all, but it told a good story.
Yeah, for sure.
But man, you know what I think would be cool?
What's that?
What I would be looking forward to. I would like to see Amalgam again. I would like to see Amalgam.
I remember that. I remember that.
For those that don't know, Amalgam was this DC and Marvel venture in the 90s. The comic book industry from like 93 to like 98 took a real dunk in the toilet.
Yeah.
And they were doing. I mean, there are Marvel and DC crossovers. There's a Superman and Fantastic Four.
Punisher, Batman. A few times.
Yes. So like it's not unheard of.
No.
It's been a long time since we've had it.
For sure.
And in the Amalgam books, they were amalgamations of these characters.
Right.
So you had a character like Darkclaw, who was a mix between Wolverine and Batman.
And his villain, Hyena. Sabretooth. And Joker smashed together. Visually looked pretty cool.
Yeah, everything about the Amalgam universe visually was great.
Oh, yeah.
The Super Soldier. Superman and Captain America. The shield was Superman's S.
Yep.
You know, like, it was so...
There was a lot of cool...
Spider-Boy was weird.
That wasn't...
Because he had that gun.
Yeah.
He had the, like, web gun.
Yeah, which, like, why?
Yeah, the Iron Lantern was
cool
looking.
That was very awesome. I mean, it was cool because it was a fallout from the first, well, I guess only maybe, DC versus Marvel.
Yeah.
Where you could vote in.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. And actually, Marvel ends up on top.
Yeah.
They got most of the votes.
Yeah, it was...
It was interesting, but, you know, again, in a world where we might get something like that within the next 20 years... Is interesting.
I can't imagine.
I like to entertain the idea because
I can't imagine the government would allow them to do it outright unless there were some concessions. But then you water down the universe a lot. I think if you could do it, I think you'd have to keep them as separate Earths.
Oh, big time.
And that there would just be a crossover
here and there,
every now and again.
Yeah. Because it'd be too much.
Yeah.
We'd all explode.
Oh my gosh.
Too much.
Just to, like Jim Lee to like be forced to work for Marvel again, like that'd be great.
I think he'd quit. He'd concede. He'd be, I'm out.
I don't know, man. He's got a lot of kids. You know, he's got a lot of kids, and they all have expensive taste. Like
no!
They all go to school. They all but they all do the thing that they want to do.
That's great.
Like they're not, lawyers. They're arts majors.
Sure.
But they're doing what they want to do.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Are any of them in the business? Like their dad, or are they like more abstract?
Abstract
like
artists.
They like paint canvases and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, one of his daughters, and I think her name is Caitlin. I follow her on Instagram. She does art I think that you would like.
Oh, okay.
She's homosexual and it's very out there. I'm not outing her or anything like that, but she does some very raw art. And it's very fueled by like the experiences she's had with men.
Man, I gotta watch this. Look
dude,
at this. That's awesome. I love it.
I was the second person to buy. I bought postcards from her because I can't afford her art.
Of course.
But I wanted to support, but I've never been like, oh hey, I'm a fan of your dad. Like I just bought it because I liked it.
Sure.
It's abstract. You dig it.
I'm gonna look it up after the show.
Yeah, there's some very cool stuff. I'll let you see it. But
it's crazy because, like you said, Jim Lee having to work for Marvel again. I mean,
he did come back willingly when the Heroes Reborn thing happened.
That's true.
Yeah,
but that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago,
and that left a bad taste in his mouth.
I can tell you guys right now, and I'll record a video if it's ever announced again that Jim Lee's coming back to X-Men. I will cry.
Yes.
Like a baby.
Oh yeah.
To get more Jim Lee X-Men.
Because it's been 30 years almost. 18 years?
Something like that.
Or not 18, 28 roughly.
Yeah, Jesus. It has been that long.
I mean, okay, so let's think about this here. So DC basically fires one of their figureheads.
Yeah.
And, do you think this fallout is in part with them maybe underperforming?
That's what there's... That's
and AT&T is like, okay, this guy is the problem.
Yeah.
And we're outing him, so you guys, we got rid of your problem, quote unquote. So now you've got to dazzle us. And if you don't, we're selling you off.
Rob's the most outspoken because Rob had a very loud divorce from DC Comics.
Right, yes.
And then he had a decent divorce from Marvel last year. We talked about it in a previous episode. Rob's Rob. Like I said, and I've said this many times, dude's been so nice to me. I don't like the way I see him out there with certain other people, but he is provoked.
Yes, sir.
People do provoke him.
Right.
And,
And he feeds the trolls, is the problem.
He does feed the trolls.
Don't feed the trolls, Rob.
Yeah, but he likes it.
I guess he likes it. Yeah, sure. Fair enough.
The guy's has had a fantastic career.
Yeah.
He's doing Snake Eyes.
Hey.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's basically Deadpool. You know, like Rob.
He can draw as long as there's no facial features.
There's no facial features. Rob is one of the best. And that's super backhanded because I do like Rob's cable. He's always weird, like weirdly proportioned, but I love it.
I think that's the point of the character.
It's nostalgia of the character for me.
Oh, dude, totally.
I've been watching, X-Men the Animated Series on Disney Plus, and man, when the cable episodes are on, it's just like, God, they got the great voice actor.
Yeah, he's great.
He just looks cool. The shoulder pads.
Dude, the Wild Man of Borneo.
The Wild Man of Borneo. Oh, Apocalypse! He's just so. He's so.
What does he say? He goes like, "Not you.
Yeah.
Anybody but you.
Yeah, anybody but Apocalypse." He's very animated, in an animated series. Yeah, it just sounds like it's performance numbers. But man, I got to tell you, I don't work at the comic book store anymore. But when I was, we're selling more DC comics.
Of course, than Marvel comics. Yeah, and. So this will lead into the rumor is like you said, AT&T's like, okay, listen, DC, all these new ventures have got to perform.
That's what it sounds like.
And now we're getting preview shots of the new Robert Pattinson Batman. It's not going to be. It doesn't look like it's going to fare well for DC, man. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if you folks have seen these pictures. These leaked set photos, quote unquote. But
Eric made a funny meme.
Oh no, we did.
Yeah,
we don't take credit for anything. We both made a couple memes about it, and they're funny because I really hope they're going to be rendered a bit, maybe in post, but it's scary.
He looks like he's wearing biker gear, hockey pads. It's a weird look. It looks very Gotham by Gaslight.
Give me that.
Yeah. Meets steampunk,
Yeah, with
which is a hint of booty in the air, but not booty in the way you want it. I don't hate the pictures, but it is a very different look to Batman.
Right.
And guys, and I've said it numerous times on the show, I trust Matt Reeves. I like that guy. He's made some movies that I really enjoy.
He's a good filmmaker. Problem is, man, like I think they've got to maybe hit it. They've got to play it safe now. Mm-hmm. And I think you need to just give us a traditional Batman right now. I think they tried doing it with Batfleck. Problem was the script was terrible.
Well, apparently it wasn't. Did you see any of that stuff that came out this week about Ben Affleck? And that he stepped away because he was working so hard to be good at Batman that it was just driving him to drink more. And he had given the script to a few people that were like, hey, this is excellent, but I think you're going to drink yourself to death.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of what's been coming out recently about Batfleck, that he did step away for his health, that he's just so gung-ho and just it's so consuming that that's his problem.
Why don't they just use his script still though?
Yeah, Matt Reeves has got his own, everybody has their own agenda.
And that's I guess that, and I'm also just wondering where this Robert Pattinson is going to fit into this DCEU, man. I don't understand what's going to happen here.
I have no idea, because we're still don't even have confirmation that he's going to be. He might be in the Jokerverse or whatever that.
We'll call it the Jokerverse. Yeah. Let's call it that, man.
Since it's definitely the first pull. I don't know if it's going to be in the Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Shazam universe.
Because. Yeah, that character doesn't look like it belongs in that fantastical CGI universe. This looks like, again, like the Jokerverse.
Yeah.
The Phillips verse.
Yeah, the Phillips.
Yeah, I'm just concerned. I'm concerned for DC's well-being at this point.
Well, the DiDio thing has huge implications.
That's right.
There was a lot more crossover in the comic book people that they would bring in to help the movies, but it also always sounded like they would bring in people like Jeff Johns and then just completely ignore them. So, if I were Jeff Johns, I'd have petitioned to get my name off of the Green Lantern movie.
Right. Oh, the Ryan Reynolds one.
Yeah, the Ryan Reynolds one, man, because
what ideas did they take from him? Because it doesn't look like they took any.
Yeah, with the exception of the yellow core style thing, and
right.
Poor Mark Strong, man, that guy would have been an amazing Sinestro long term.
Yes.
He was so good in there, man. I haven't rewatched it since the theater, but I would rewatch it again for Mark Strong.
Oh, wow.
I loved his it came out, and that was the thing. When that movie came out, dude, Green Lantern was the hottest book I was reading.
Yeah.
Green Lantern for 7 years was so good.
Every
issue.
You loved it.
I had to read it. That and Walking Dead. Those were the ones that I was reading every time they came out.
Yeah.
Right when they came out. And it was just like, when they were like, oh, Jeff Johns is going to be a part of this, I was so excited. And then I watched this movie and I was like, what? Did Jeff Johns just walk by while these guys were writing this? And they were like, hey, Jeff, oh, what's that? Sinestro? Cool. We'll give you a writing credit. It's hot garbage. And yeah, I'm very concerned. What does this mean for HBO Max?
Yes.
That Green Lantern course.
Yes. There's a lot of things that are going to be up in the air now. I mean, if this is in fact true.
Well, yeah. Obviously DiDio is gone.
He's gone, but the DC maybe being sold off to some venture capitalists or hedge fund people. I don't know.
I would love for the exodus to happen. Jim to go back to Marvel for a little bit. Jeff Johns to come over to Marvel. God, I want to see Jeff Johns do something with the Avengers.
Did he ever write for them or never?
He did early on. He did an Avengers story, but I'm not familiar with it.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it was an Avengers story. Yeah, because like I think his first known work for DC was this Stars and Stripes thing with Stargirl, and then this character Stripes, S.
Okay.
It's an acronym.
Yeah, for something.
And that was a really good story because I think it's loosely based. God, I can't remember everything about it, but it had something to do, I believe, with the death of his sister or a family member, and he kind of equated it to. Anyway, it was supposedly a very moving story, but I don't really remember it. But I would like to see some of those guys come over. I'd like to see some of those guys do some stuff at Marvel, but I don't want the DC properties to fall. I think we're really thinking in terms of worst case scenarios for DC.
Yeah.
Because I just can't imagine that they're hemorrhaging money like that.
Maybe they are because, think about it. Those movies tanked. Maybe except the Joker.
Yeah.
Which you got to...
Maybe Billy, man. Jesus.
Yeah, but I would be more inclined to think that Warner Brothers probably got more of that cut.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I bet that's DC at the point was oh yeah, you can kind of do this, man. You're fine.
Yeah, it almost feels like they're one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing. Whereas Marvel, the comics really try to Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr., so we're gonna make Tony Stark like Robert Downey Jr. now.
Well, how do you feel about that though?
I'm fine with it because I was always bored with Tony Stark. I never thought he was that interesting.
Oh, just in comics.
Just in the comics in general. But then when RDJ redefined the character, they started really adding that humor to him.
Okay, that makes sense.
In the story. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Carol being more of a stronger Captain Marvel. And stuff like that. So I'm okay with it as long as it mirrors and it's interesting.
Sure.
As long as it's interesting.
That's the thing with DC is they don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
The mirroring is bad.
It's a dirty mirror. Filthy mirror.
Because from what you've been telling me, the comics are pretty amazing. Or we'll just say consistent.
They're really consistent.
And then their movies are really hit and miss.
To say the least.
We're not even going to say 2019 Joker's in the conversation because
it's not in the conversation. For
it's
me
not.
At all.
It's not because
and
for me it's just
listeners. I don't like the movie.
He doesn't.
I like the movie. I don't like it as a Joker movie. We have it in a previous episode.
Check it out.
Go back, check that out.
Because I love it.
Because Eric loved it, and I thought it was just okay. So, and that's the beauty, guys. That's the beauty. 28 years of friendship, and we don't agree on everything. Okay?
The yin and the yang, baby. And I don't know. I really don't want DC to lose everything.
Yeah.
I wish they could get their film division under control.
Yeah.
It's like you said, the one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing, man.
Yeah, they're going full on stranger, and it's weird, okay? It's super, super weird, and we're the ones that get affected by it, okay?
Isn't there a comic book character called the Stranger?
He's the Phantom Stranger. And,
that's like when you sit on both your hands, right?
Yeah, you can keep your eyes closed. We'll see who gets there. Oh my gosh. I think we're talking in worst case scenario.
Of course,
and, ultimately, it's got to still be a cash cow.
Yeah, sure. Merchandise alone.
They own all other characters.
Yes.
They seem to be really going in on figures, McFarlane. But see, that's interesting. McFarlane Toys is doing it. McFarlane is part of Image Comics.
Yeah.
There is some chicanery going on.
For sure.
And I'm curious if, I'm going to help out my friend Todd.
Right.
We're going to give you this big contract.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know what the intricacies of that are.
Yeah.
But people on the internet, reputable sites, we are not reputable. We're just telling you what we heard.
Yeah.
And man,
unless they want to come on the show, Todd.
Yeah,
come on the show.
Yeah, man, dude, he lives. I mean, he lives in Arizona. The Image Comics is.
We'll
in
fly
Arizona.
you in, man.
Will we? Because like,
Coach, JetBlue,
JetBlue, Frontier. Just to carry on, Todd. Just to carry on. Put you up at the finest La Quinta we can get. Okay.
The Econo Lodge.
Yeah. We can't afford $8 a night. All right, kids, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what we're doing, please hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Give us a like. If you don't like it, hell, give us a comment then. We want to make something that, for your drive to work. When you're washing the dishes, you just want to hear some BS about pop culture. That's what we want to do. We want to give you maybe a different perspective. Right. Maybe Eric makes a meme about you. I don't know.
Make them.
I never know what he's doing. Okay, I never know. Like when he's not in my peripherals, I can't vouch for that. Okay?
I'm the phantom stranger, baby.
Yeah. Eric, what are your final thoughts for today?
I think Dan DiDio. I wish him well.
Yeah.
And I hope maybe Jim just needs to do this on his own, and maybe things will start getting sorted out. Maybe there was too many cooks in the kitchen, and maybe Jim him by himself will have some clarity. But okay, let's huddle up here, folks. Let's get this back together.
Dude, Jim is aging rapidly. This guy is one of the hardest working dudes in the industry. He still goes to a ton of cons.
Yeah, he does.
He drags his lovely wife and half the kids around the world with him. He doesn't drag him. I love following him and his wife online. They are so sweet.
I think you say at the con.
Yeah, I do at the con too. One year it was a little touch and go. I apologize. I fanboyed out, and that's just how I do. But that guy works so hard. Like Dan DiDio posted a video of like his going away party, and Jim looked a little overwhelmed. I'm sure it was emotional.
Sure,
but I mean that guy he works a lot.
Well, of course.
And then also will draw comics sometimes.
Sure.
He does amazing covers, and I mean the guy can crank it out. I mean, next year or this year at Comic-Con, you should go to Jim Lee panel.
I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to
watch him do art, man.
Yeah.
He's so. It's not fair.
It's not fair
how good he is.
Hey, man.
He'll just be talking. He'll be talking perspective. And one of my nerd dreams is to have him draw something for me.
What do you want?
It's just so hard.
What do you want?
If I could, I would like to get an X-Men. I would probably go with a Phoenix, just because he doesn't do that often.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, but it would be very hard. Like he does stuff on Twitch, and he'll like give it away to somebody. Oof. It's just so hard to like get in on that.
Dang.
And it's so heartbreaking. And then you're spending $400 like minimum on like an original sketch on scalpers on eBay.
Oh,
I'm sorry. No, that's for a Rob Liefeld. For a Jim Lee, it's usually about $1,200.
That makes more sense. For a Liefeld, I'll give you 2.
Yeah, a lot of people start out.
They're like, oh, well, he actually signed it himself. Oh, well, I'll give you 100.
Yeah, Rob, if you cannot sign my art, just kidding. I have a bunch of pieces from Rob, none that I paid for, and they're awesome.
How about you? What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts. Again, I'm worried about Jim. I think that I hope they take something off of his plate. Like I said, I just want him to come to Marvel again.
This is what it's all been about.
Yeah. If my bashing Dan DiDio behind the scenes to the right people pays off, we'll get Jim back at Marvel Comics, guys.
The plan is working, and I guess our Pats better not mess this up.
Yeah. Don't mess up Batman. All right, we're very excited about the prospect and the idea. Kids, thank you so much for listening. I have been your host, Roman Chavez.
I am still Eric Icky Poo.
We'll keep you updated on the Jim Lee work front, because I just want to make sure he's okay. Totally, yeah. Guys, thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you on the next show.